Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Casual Fridays. I'm Adam Southey, and today we're going to be talking about how to start an ATM business. I'm really excited to be talking about this, guys. I've got some great information for you, but before we dive into it, make sure you give us a like and subscribe. It really helps us out, and it guarantees that we keep coming back each and every week with awesome videos for you. Okay guys, so you know our main business here at Casual Fridays is buying and selling real estate, specifically rural vacant land, but as investors, as entrepreneurs, we're always looking for somewhere else to put our money, and I have always had this desire to get into the ATM business for several reasons. One, it is relatively inexpensive to get this business up and running. You can purchase an ATM for just a couple $1,000s, find a location, and then you're up and running. Two is that it creates monthly cash flow. So while you're out there doing whatever you're gonna do, those machines are working for you and creating income. And three, it's a low people, low time involvement company, which is exactly what I like, right? You don't have to manage people, and once the machines are on location, all you're doing is just making sure that they're filled with money. So we're gonna dive into this. I'm gonna walk you step by step what I've done so far, what I've learned, and hopefully that helps you out, all right? So let's get started. The first thing you're gonna wanna do is set up a business structure. Now this could be an LLC, it could be an S Corp, it could be a C Corp. You're gonna need to decide what's best for you, but I can tell you the most common thing that I see is the LLC. That's what I used, and it's worked out perfectly for me so far. There's a couple reasons why you want to do this. The first one being asset protection. If it's in the business name, it's not in your name, and this can help you out later on down the road if you ever get into any trouble. The second one is banking. We're going to find that not all banks are the same, and not all banks want to work with ATM companies. And so your best shot at getting an account is by making yourself look like a legit business, and filing that business structure is going to be the first step in doing that. Now, setting up this corporation. It's really simple to do. You may know how to do it on your own, but if you don't, there's several companies out there that will help you. If you go to the Casual Fridays REI website, we've got links in our resources to InkFile. You can also use LegalZoom. There's a bunch of other companies out there that will help you get this done. But we always do it through InkFile, make it really simple. Just fill out the information and they will get it done and filed with the state and then send it to you. All right, so that's the first part. Let's get out there, let's get that done. Next, we're gonna move into banking. So here's the tricky part. Not all banks want to work with ATM companies, and that's because of money laundering. So if you go to a big bank like a Wells Fargo, a Chase, or anything like that, they are going to immediately deny you. I actually know because I'm building this business. I went to Wells Fargo, where we bank for Casual Fridays, and I talked to them about it, so we have a good relationship. They said that it's at least a 6-month process to apply. And then even if we do get accepted next year when they do their banking audits, they'll find it and the account will get closed. Well, we don't want that because we're in the ATM business. We need the banks open for us to continue to make money. So your best shot is going to be with a smaller local branch. So a bank that has one location, 2, 3, or maybe 5 locations. All right, now I work my land business with a bank that has 5 locations here in town. It's big enough that they have a good standing, but it's also small enough that maybe they would work with me. So I went in and talked to them, and they do work with ATMs. I got lucky. I didn't have to go all over the place looking for a bank. But what I found was banking for ATMs is expensive. So there's a whole laundry list of things that they will charge for, but the one that caught my attention the most was your monthly banking fees. Now, I don't know about all banks. When it comes to something like your personal checking, there may be free banking, there may be $5, $10 if you drop below a specific amount. But for my ATM company, I'm being charged $250 per month just to have the account open. That's a big chunk of change, especially if you're not already making money, but it's also a kick in the butt to get you out there and really get these machines on location and start earning. So keep that in mind when you're looking for a bank. You're smaller, your local banks, your credit unions, they're gonna be the ones that wanna work with you. These larger banks will not, because of the fear of money laundering. That's a big issue with ATMs, and so they've just decided to avoid it altogether. So you got your business set up, you got your bank account open, now let's get some machines. I'm really excited about this part because mine just showed up. I went with 5 ATMs for my first purchase, and I went with the GenMega 2500 series. Now there's a couple different reasons for that. The first one is I just thought it was a quality machine. And the second one is it was really inexpensive for what you get. Now, there's a bunch of different models and a bunch of different brands you can go with. You can even get used ATMs, but I went with the GenMega because it was only $2,250 per machine. I thought that was really inexpensive, especially for what you can make in cash flow in the future and how quickly you can get that money back. Now to find this machine was pretty simple. I just went to Google, I typed ATM for sale near me. A bunch of different companies came up. I started calling them. I found one, I really liked their sales guy. We connected really well, and their processing was free. This is important because some companies will charge you for processing, and that's money that's not going into your pocket. With the company I went with, and there's a lot like them, processing is free, which means you make more money. Now, one thing I want you to take note of. This was a mistake on my part. You don't make the same mistake, but when you have these things delivered, make sure you have a safe, secure location that's easy to get to. Here at the Casual Fridays office, we are on the second floor. We don't have an elevator, and the stairs are steep. And these machines are heavy. They weigh roughly 205 pounds, and they're attached to a pallet, and they're big and they're bulky. So when they showed up, and I'm the only person in my office, I had to convince the delivery guy to help me get him up the stairs, and he did not want to do it. Luckily, I had a really nice bottle of scotch laying around that had been unopened, and I was able to give it to him because I also didn't have any cash to tip him. So after some coaxing, he did help me up, but man, was it tough and was it a workout. So I went and got a storage unit to make sure I have somewhere to put these things from now on, but don't make that mistake. All right, learn from me, guys. All right, so we're gonna move on now to placing them. You've got your machines, you've got your business set up, you've got banking. Now it's time to find the locations and to start making money. So where are we gonna put these things? This is a super good question because where they go determines how much money we're going to make. Now, if you remember, we're following my journey. I just bought my 5 ATMs, so they are not on location, but I also don't plan on being the one who goes out and gets the locations. I set this business up so that I could do as little work as possible and make as much money as possible. So I hired a ATM Locator. Now they'll be here next week, but essentially how it works was I found them online. There's a couple of big ones that have been around forever that have a national presence. I called their salesperson, I talked to them for a while. They were super knowledgeable. And so I hired them. They're going to come out. They actually send a person. He will be on location, and they will spend 2 days, 3 days, whatever it takes to go out and find my 5 locations. Now it was a little expensive, but I don't have to do it. So in transparency again, because we keep everything real around here, I paid $2,500 per location. And if you remember how much I paid for the ATMs, that puts me right under $5,000 per machine. Now, I love that because I don't have to do it. Now, if you don't want to spend that money, then you got to get out there and do it yourself. And the best places for these are things like convenience stores, barbershops, the strip club, places where cash is common, places that have a lot of foot traffic, because the more people that walk past your ATM, the better chances that you're going to have that they use it. I did just hire this locator. I don't know how it's going to work out, so stay tuned for another video, because as of right now, they're supposed to be here in a week. You better believe I'm going to be making a video about it so I can bring it back to you guys. Because if you're anything like me, you want to make the most money possible without having to do all of the work. I'm not a pound and ground type of person. I'm not going to go out and make these contacts. So let's see how this works. Okay, so let's talk about installation real quick, because once you find the location, you need to have the ATM installed. The quicker you get this done, the better, because you don't want the location to change their mind or find someone else to do it. So what I am planning on is, as soon as we find a location, because they already have the machines, we will have it installed between 24 and 48 hours after they sign the paperwork. You can do this yourself, but you're gonna need to know how to do it. So a lot of times, if the store owner will allow you, you will drill it into the ground. You're gonna have to talk to your processor, have them set up some stuff, get it connected to the internet before it will work. Again, because I don't want to be the one doing everything, I hired a local ATM installer. And to find this person, I called Janega, because that's who I bought my ATMs from. I said, hey, I'm in the Fort Worth area. Do you guys have an installer? They looked it up. They gave me a name. I called this person, and they're going to do it really cheap. So it was like $150. They will have the machines installed within 24 hours of when I give them a call. They'll do everything for me. I don't have to do anything. So you may want to check into that too if you don't want to be the person that goes out and installs them. So that's it, guys. I've shown you everything you need to know to get your ATM business up and running. Make sure you follow my journey, because I'm doing this right here with you. I'm gonna show you all my successes, my failures. We'll learn together, we'll grow together. So make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. It'll keep me coming back each and every week to share these tips and tricks with you. And until then, see you next time.